Okay, so you can see here, this is the rear swinging arm off the Stumpy. Bearings move pretty good, okay, but what you're going to have to do is, if you want to do this properly, is take a tool, preferably not a Stanley knife, and you're going to need to pop out the side seal here, nice and carefully. And if you pop this side seal out nice and carefully without damaging it, you should be able to lift it out. These bearings here haven't got loads of grease in them, and they're designed to spin, but they don't, because they're only moving a few degrees. What we need to do to get a good long lasting life out the rear end of your bike is repack these with a good quality waterproof grease. Now you can take your bearings out to do this, and when you've done that, all you need to do is take your seal, make sure it's the right side around, okay, and pop that back into your bike, making sure you press it in all the way around. Difficult to do with one hand, but you can do it. When you've done that, you want to turn it over. You want to do both sides, because this has got a double set of roller bearings, and you're going to want to repeat that for all the bearings in your bike. Here I've taken the swinging arm linkage out of the Stumpy, and you can see here I've actually removed the bearing from one side. To do this, I've quite simply used a drift, which is a socket, into the hole, and I've used a ball peen hammer to tap that out. The other bearings you might want to use a punch to remove. If you remove them, you can take them out and inspect them and make sure that they're okay, the seals are good. You can remove the side seals, repack with grease before putting them in. When you do put them back in, make sure you've taken the time to clean where the bearing sits inside, get rid of any grit and dirt. Also, before you pack in, put some grease inside there, so if you do come to take them out in the future, instead of them when they're going in the factory going dry, they go in with a bit of grease and it will help you out. I've got a selection of old bearings here on the bench. I've just done Stumpy, and the old bearings you might find are completely shot. This one's rusted. Here I've got one that is totally seized up, won't spin, is very gritty. If you find that when you take them out you smash them, you're going to have to replace these bearings, of course. If you do this sort of thing, your bike will last much longer. Okay, make it much more weatherproof in all conditions and save you money long term. Again, you can see this bearing is brand new, but it comes with no grease in it almost. There's hardly any grease in this bearing at all. I've had the bike now about 6 months, and it needs packing from both sides before you then put the seals back on, and that'll make sure you last a good long more time.
Set adrift on memory bliss of you.